Blue Lock Episode 4. This anime is not uh, betraying our expectations. We're looking at the next haiku. This show is unlike any other sports anime because whereas all the other sports animes were about people coming together as teammates, this pits every character against each other in order to see out of 300 who can be the best. But there is, of course, teamwork in certain stages, and then during this stage, we see some of that. Though it isn't like that during the entire course of the anime. It certainly does mix it up. Not that I hope that's not a spoiler. I wanted to consider it so. But it got me thinking about how sports really does bring the best out of you. It's something Joe Rogan said on a recent podcast is that practicing Taekwondo and becoming better at it and becoming really good at it taught him that the value of hard work, and taught him that he could become great at something if he really dedicated himself to it. And sports does that for young people. It teaches you determination, strength, resiliency in the face of loss, learning to work as a team, but also it gives you greater strength as an individual. It's very sad because I was unable to play sports in high school because I had a bad knee. I played basketball in middle school, and then in high school, junior year, I tried out for the basketball team. And when I was trying out, I had so much more motivation. I was driven by competition and by the desire to be on a team. And I started studying more, taking better care of myself, eating right, but I did not make the basketball team. I was cut. And I can only think that if I hadn't dislocated my knee in 8th grade and that injury didn't leave me with so much scar tissue, how much different my high school experience would have been. I might not have read all the books that I read, and I would have been a very different individual. So there were some blessings in it, but I would have most likely gained a lot more success at a younger age had I been able to play team sports. I would have not been friendless during the first 2.5 years of high school, alone and socially anxious. But that also forced me to overcome my anxiety through a combination of rational emotive behavioral therapy, improving my diet, exercise, and CES therapy through the Alpha Stem. Something I talked about in another video, but I was able to cure my social anxiety through doing a great deal of research into how other people alleviated their social anxiety and utilizing a number of different methodologies to get it down to zero, to the point now that I can go up and talk to anyone without any social anxiety at all, whereas before I couldn't even look people in the eyes unless I knew them very well and I knew they were nice without tearing up. So I always kept my eyes down, because if I looked someone in the eye that I didn't know was kind or I didn't have a close relationship with, I'd start feeling myself tearing up. I don't know if I would have cried. I didn't ever maintain eye contact long enough to find out. But I definitely would have looked like I was about to cry. Sports are very good for young people. And if it's not sports, it's music or art or writing, something you're passionate about that helps you develop as a human being. It helps you get closer to self-actualization. I miss competition and miss the camaraderie that comes with sports a great deal. Competition brings out the best in you because you want to get better and you want to work harder. You want to take better care of yourself physically and mentally. You know, study sports psychology, do everything you can to become better at the sport, but that also makes you a better human being because you're more resilient to stress. You understand that sometimes you're going to lose, and that's okay. and you can be frustrated, but you learn from your losses. And that's something most people in life don't learn, that it's okay sometimes to lose and to make mistakes, and sometimes you make big mistakes. Sometimes you're playing a basketball game and you take the last shot and it's 98 to 96, and you might have been able to win the game with that 3-point shot, but you missed it. And you feel like you lost the game for your entire team. But that just makes you stronger in the end as a human being. And with soccer, I never really was interested in soccer, but this anime makes soccer compelling. Just like I was never interested in volleyball until I watched Haikyuu, I was never interested in soccer until Blue Lock came out. And it's just so cool how the author conveys his love of soccer in such a way that people who would otherwise have no interest in the sport whatsoever are excited by the fact that one guy's weapon is dribbling and another guy's weapon is mid-range shot, and our protagonist's weapon is smelling the goal, his instincts, which he'll later realize is in part thanks to spatial reasoning, something that made Wayne Gretzky the greatest hockey player of all time. He knew where his teammates were, and he knew where everyone else on the rink was, on the ice was, and he had good instincts on who to pass to and who would be able to score if he were in position to score himself. It's another thing that sports can cultivate in you is an understanding of your intuition, and getting to learn when your intuition is correct, and gaining that sense of unification with your unconscious, with those gut feelings that tell you sometimes what the correct decision is. Intuition is a very powerful tool that intellectuals very rarely cultivate. They're all in their heads, never in their bodies. But everything's interconnected, And there's a lot to be said about the power of perception. Without proper perception, no amount of thinking will help, because if you can't perceive and pay attention to the right things in the right way and differentiate useful knowledge from useless knowledge, and learn how to take knowledge and leverage it into actionable tasks and actionable thing. What's the right word? If you can't actualize your ideas into reality, they're useless. If you can't derive wisdom from the study of history and an understanding of human nature, then history is useless. But I could go on, and I could go on, but the nature of how we should study history is not really relevant to the Blue Lock anime episode 4. But yeah, those instincts, when our protagonist was able to tell who the real leader of the opposite team, of Team Y was, that changed the course of the game, because he understood who was really the most important player on that field, who was coordinating all the players and tying everything in together. He had leadership capabilities that made him more important than the best striker, the person who could shoot the goals most effectively, because there's something more important than that, and that's the ability to perceive what's going on and develop proper strategies to deal with it. So that's it for this anime review and analysis. I think I'll do more reviews like this, where I go out and take a walk. It's a sports anime, so I should get a little bit of light exercise in, right? Maybe I'll do my next one at the gym. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? But the background music that they play all the time would be kind of annoying for watching the video. Regardless, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you think of sports. If there's any sort of uh, something you'd like to get into, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, any sort of martial arts, adult basketball team, or if you're younger, you know, any sport you like to play at your high school, or any sport club, sports club you'd like to play in college, you know, because you don't have to be, especially in high school club sports. It's not like you're playing NCAA, sports. You're not competing on a national level, competing with a few local schools, and you don't have to be great. The point is to have fun, and it's a great way to get in shape or stay in shape, to make new friends, and to build more of a community around you, make new friends, and the camaraderie you get from your teammates is really profound, like working on something together towards a common goal, and having that motivation to take better care of yourself, get proper sleep, go to bed early so that you can be ready for next day's practice or the next game, eat right so you can perform better. So at the very least, you're not holding your team back by being too slow or too tired or too sloppy. I can't wait for the next episode to come out, because I think I'll journal a bit more about the value of sports and why they're so important for human development, and the critical role they can play in adolescent development, and even an adult's life. A lot of people try going to the gym and it doesn't work out, but if they were to if they start playing golf or join an adult basketball league or soccer team or volleyball team, and that's one of the great things I love about these sports animes. It gets a lot of people to, like Haikyuu saw like a tripling of the number of Japanese students playing volleyball, because it inspired so many of them with a love of the sport, and it really re-energized. There's just this one show, this one manga that became an anime, that got adapted into anime, helped a lot of young people discover a love for volleyball, and then get all the benefits I just spoke about, and become more courageous, become more disciplined, become more socially well integrated, make better friends, make lifelong friends. Hopefully this anime will encourage a lot of people all over the world to try out soccer. If it isn't soccer, try out every sport. Try out gymnastics. Try out ice skating. Try out everything you can and see what clicks with you, because everyone is different. You gotta find that thing that really speaks to you and that you can really become passionate about. And for me, that was jiu-jitsu, until I started developing until my heart problem, my congenital heart problem, got in the way, to the point where I can't do cardio anymore. I can only lift weights for a few reps, and I have to take 5-minute breaks between each set. It really sucks, because I'd love to compete in jiu-jitsu competitively like I did when I was younger. People that are healthy, that don't have any health problems, you don't know how lucky you are. And I'm still grateful for everything I have. I know I'm very lucky in so many different respects. And gratitude is one of the key components to happiness. Like, if you want to be a happy person, just write down 10 things you're grateful for each day and why, or make a video each day about 10 things you're grateful for and why. Whatever medium you want, or do gratitude meditation, whatever works for you. And that's my analysis of Blue Lock episode 4.